I'll start with Nilesh. Nilesh, when you see this, you deal with students on day-to-day basis. Where does the problem lie? Is it with the political parties that the government jobs have become an instrument to get votes? Or is it the psyche of our students, psyche of our youngsters, or psyche of our society that is driving these political parties to indulge into such kind of practices?
Thanks, Pramod, for having me. But I think I would like to look at it in two ways. I think there is a place where you have a start of this whole phenomenon. And the start of the phenomenon starts with the political parties. So the root cause is the political parties. Now the problem is the society's psyche, as you very rightly said, has also kind of got tuned to this whole concept that if it is a job, it has to be a government job. If I do not have a government job, I'm unemployed. Another very important thing what you have been talking about is I'm not sure if government is really, or the political parties really look at giving jobs as a means to win elections, because I'm not sure about that. However, from what happened in the past, when the elections were about to happen, and when you had a lot of MLAs from the ruling party who basically said that there is corruption in jobs, I think more than winning elections, it is basically to win currency. As you very rightly said. So I think most of the job opportunities that get created is for this.
Very, very, very interesting. We'll come to that currency point later. Bhai, how are you looking at this? You also deal with students, youngsters on day-to-day basis. When you look at this, psyche, where does the problem lie? Is it the political setup trying to exploit the janta, or the janta trying to exploit the political setup at the time of election?
See, it is not a one-way process. It all started after liberation, when people's aspirations increased. They found that the facilities for employment in the villages, in the towns were not appropriate, not enough. And government went on a recruitment spree. Now, with government service, you all know that once you are a government employee, you are there till you retire after about 30 years or 40 years. You get promotions after you complete so many years in service. Your performance is never assessed. Whether you devote your full time to that particular job you have taken up or not, nobody assesses that to you. So there is no accountability. Salary size has increased year after year. We have had so many commissions appointed, 5th pay commission, 6th pay commission, 7th pay commission, and this will go on. And then the salary packet has become so big that almost for doing no work, you take home a sizable packet. So naturally, every effort, every step is taken by the parents and the candidate himself to see that somehow he lands a job. And then giving such a job became a political requirement, and it also became a political precondition to get elected. So every candidate, if you look at them, their speeches, the candidate said, I will see to you that maximum number of my students in my constituency will get jobs. And what jobs? Government jobs. So people prefer government jobs, number one. Thereafter, the banks are there. Thereafter, institutions like education institutes are there. But the MLA, the candidate, the aspiring minister, for him, the only thing that his performance is judged is by the number of jobs that he has offered. Unfortunately, we have to accept this. Then comes the corruption part of it. You use the word currency. There are two ways. Corruption is by way of winning people's mandate, based on the number of jobs given. And second is on the sly. There are agents of these aspiring MLAs, politicians, who go about and promise jobs to them. A lot of people have come across, substances have come across. In the absence of a proof, it becomes difficult. In what way can we stop this? We have the jobs in the public sector, but enough number of industries have not come. Those the industries which have been set up here, they are now technologically so advanced that they need minimum number of heads to carry on their work. Number two, the tertiary sector. Primary sector, people have turned back from primary sector, agriculture, etc. Nobody wants it. The secondary sector and the tertiary sector that we have, services. In fact, services create the maximum number of jobs today. The tertiary sector
Yeah.
creates. But is there a way by which we regulate it? We don't. First of all, our people are not interested in those. So as a result, we have an influx of people coming from the rest of the states who are prepared to take any type of job because in their states, such type of job, government jobs are not available to them.
Very, very interesting point. Whether our people are interested in taking the jobs that are available, or as Nilesh very interestingly said, our definition of employment has become the employment means government job.
Government
So,
job,
yeah. So Yatish, how are you looking at it? You are a lawyer. You are a professional, and you have also seen what happens actually on ground when it comes to the expectations of people when it about government jobs. How are you looking at this? Is it a chicken and hen egg kind of a scenario, or you feel that a political setup is more responsible than the janta?
No, if you see it very carefully and analyze it, one has to understand that jobs, once the government seeks to create jobs, there are certain benchmarks and sieving mechanisms even for the creation of jobs. You have the finance department, you have the law department, so therefore you just cannot create jobs like that. They cannot be just through a magic wand. There are certain rigors of administration. So you cannot create jobs just like that. So jobs are created because government has to function, government has to move ahead, and the government has to work. So who will man the government? Is the people who will man the government. So you need government servants, you need officers and all that sort. So it is wrong to say in that context that government jobs are just being sprued and created, and it doesn't work that way. Though there may be an impression, but it is necessarily not right if you see the rigors of the finance department, the law department and the mechanism at the governmental level. Having said that, we need to understand that education has spread far and wide. Now, colleges, schools, and that's a very desirable trend, it's a very welcome step, that everybody is getting himself, herself, or her ward's children educated. What is the effect of it? The effect of it is once the child passes out, the parents want that the child should be gainfully employed. The children want a good salary for themselves. They want a stable life. Now, therefore, there are two ways. One way is that they look towards the government. Wherever, see, it's not wrong to look at towards the government, because government also has got avenues for jobs. Government officers, you see, there are so many corporations of the government, departments of the government. So one way is to look at the government for jobs. But government creates jobs as much as it can create, in as much as the rigors of administration are concerned. You can just not create jobs like that. Just that the administration works carefully with the rigors of finance and law departments guidelines. Now, the second part of it is your private sector jobs. Your private sector jobs can be through retail, can be through manufacturing, can be through skill based, can be through IT, can be through green industries, can be through skill based things. So many avenues are there. Now, I am so happy that of late, I am seeing a lot of thrust on policy perspectives. And this is because we are moving into an era of e-governance. We are almost through it, on the threshold of it that way. Now you see our IT department. IT industries are looking at Goa. IT department is creating a policy perspective to welcome these industries. You see department like labor. I just read the other day the minister speaking that minimum wages will be hiked. See, these kind of things will help create avenues for employment. Then you have industries. I just heard some days back, and the people of the state have heard that the industries minister of the state has said that I'm really going to look at a policy perspective towards the betterment of industries in the state. Then you have the agriculture minister also speaking that I'm going to bring in schemes, support and incentives towards making agriculture more fashionable, agriculture more lucrative, agriculture more welcoming. So basically there are two aspects. One aspect is the government as a job creator directly. And that is not wrong. I mean, the government creates jobs. The
No, but
people
it is
apply for it.
question is when a MLA or a minister says that I will give so many jobs in my constituency, don't you think it exactly passes the rigors that you are mentioning?
No, see, it is like this. Once, whoever may say anything, but once jobs are advertised, there is a process for filling up vacancies. There is a mechanism within the system. And now you see, you have got the Public Service Commission, you have got papers set by the experts, you have got, so there are, you have to clear all these sort of steps,
Nilesh,
you know.